it's Dr. Vince from Infinity Bike Seat. Today I'm with our social guru. She's going to go ahead and, Miss Marie.
Hello.
And we're going to go ahead and today we are going to be working on her bike because she experienced a
Flat tire while riding.
wah,
Unfortunately.
wah. So when we're out there, sometimes if we've never changed, what's your degree of a cyclist? Are you novice, intermediate, or pro?
I am not a pro. Quite the opposite. I am a beginner cyclist.
And as you can see, we went ahead and fixed her bike a couple weeks ago because she just wanted to be comfortable, just something to tour back and forth. Got this beautiful bike from her auntie. And so as you see, we've got an adjustable stem just to help her be a little comfortable while she is riding on her E1X. So today we're going to go through some basic tips of what you should be doing before getting ready to take the back wheel off. So let's jump right into it. All right, Marie, so here you have your rear shifter, okay? Now you were mentioning before that you really didn't understand what the gears do in the back.
No, I do not.
So there's a different, what they call a cog, it's or your cassette, and so that cassette has different size rings on there. The bigger ring makes it easier for you to pedal. The smaller one makes it a little bit harder.
Got it.
Where it gets confusing, it's sort of the opposite in the front. But today, what we have to do is we have to move your chain down to the smallest one so it makes it easier to go ahead and take the wheel off today, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead, you have two levers. For your situation, you have the big lever, which will move it up. And now we got this lower, the smaller one's gonna go ahead and move. This is called your rear derailleur, okay? And that's gonna help move the chain. Oop. This is your rear derailleur, and that's gonna go ahead and help move the chain down to the smallest cog, okay? So go ahead and push that little button there for me.
Here.
Yep. And you see it's starting to move. And now what you're gonna do me a favor is you're gonna spin your wheel. You're gonna come over here to your pedals and pedal. There you go. Let's go ahead and push it down one more time. That little lever.
Okay.
See if it has any more there. Good. And spin it one more time. There you go. So now we're at the smallest one. You're gonna go ahead and hit your rear brake for me. Good. All right. So now we're getting ready to go ahead and take the whole rim off. Now before you do that, we've gone ahead and moved the chain down to the easiest, the smallest gear, so it'll be easy to take it off the frame. But what we have to do also is we have to open up the brake calipers. Now there's a little lever here that you're going to pull back and lift up, and that will open up. So now when we get ready to take the wheel off, it'll slide right off the bike here, okay?
Got it. Okay.
Now, I have a bike stand, but this is to do if you're on the road. We want you to have sort of the same feeling versus being like in a bike shop.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
So I'm going to go on to the other side here, and I'm going to go ahead and hold the bike up for you. Because sometimes if you're riding with somebody or somebody might be able to give you a hand, I will hold it up for you. So you're going to go ahead. This is your quick release right here.
Right.
So you're going to go ahead and pull your quick release out. There you go. And let's see, sometimes you have to go ahead and twist it. Whoa! Boom! There it is. That easy. Okay, congratulations. You've taken your rear wheel off. All right. So that worked out great, right? So now we're going to go ahead and get ready to change out the tire, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Now we've got the tire off the bike. As you saw, it sort of fell off the bike. Now what we're going to do is we have to go ahead and take the tire off the rim to go ahead and get the wheel out. But before we can do that, we need to take a couple things off. We need to take that little cap off. And then you've got this little screw, this little nut that goes around there. So that helps secure the tube so while you're riding it doesn't shift or move inside the rim. It also makes it a little bit easier. Back in the day, you used to have it move around when you're trying to pump up the tire.
Yeah.
So now this is where we get our little levers out. Now, this is sometimes back in the day, you wish you had a couple extra hands.
Yeah.
Well, here you go. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and back in the day, we would go ahead when we were kids, we would go ahead and basically use a screwdriver. Well, what happens is you go through the whole process of changing out your tire, and then only to learn that your flathead screwdriver went ahead and punctured your inner tube, and so you had to do it all over again.
Oh no.
All right, so you're going to go ahead and take this little scoop. Now you see this, that's going to go underneath between the rim and the bead of the tire.
Okay.
And then you've got this little line here. You've got this little gap here. That's going to help you secure it onto the spoke. So it's gonna
Oh,
act like it's gonna help you keep the tire stable while you're trying to go ahead and come around the tire to take it off, okay? So here we go, we're gonna start right from this area, I'll give this to you.
Okay.
And we're gonna go ahead and just move that tire over and just get that right underneath the bead. There you go. Got it?
Yes.
All right, and just pull it all the way down, and it's gonna go right onto that portion, and so it goes over the spoke, and then you just push it over.
Yeah.
So now, for everybody, you can go ahead and see we've got a gap from where the wedge is in between the tire and the rim, and it's hooked onto the spoke, so it acts like an extra pair of hands. So now we're going to go through the next one, and we're going to come down a little bit ways, and we're going to go ahead and come underneath there. And so what you're doing now, exactly, you're going to go ahead and pull. Almost there.
It's a little trickier.
Yeah, a little trickier because it's a little tighter now, right?
Right, yeah.
That's where you get your really strong thumbs and sort of pushing. So come up a little bit. What I can make a suggestion is try to go ahead and come down a little bit more to the side, and then so that way you can hopefully get underneath the rim a little bit easier. Or it might have to come a little closer that way towards your hand. Yep. Let's see how that works out for us. It's a little bit difficult. Oh, almost there. Okay, so let's just back up a little bit more because you see this. Now this is also an older tire, so it's a little it's not as useful. So let's go right where your thumb. You got it now? Good. Good. There you go. Okay. So now what you can sometimes do is you can we've got the tire, we've got a gap inside here. Now what you can sort of do by holding the tire in front of you at this angle, now you can sort of come through and just pull it back. Okay, so I'm going to put that back on there, and then you're going to hold the tire, and now you're going to go ahead. Yep, you're releasing. Good. And you sort of you're going to stabilize the tire because what you're going to do is going to be right through here, and you're going to, by pushing your hand forward, the right hand forward on the tire, and pulling back with the left hand, go ahead. There you go.
Oh, whoa.
And you can just turn this way. We'll go ahead and put you this way so everybody can see what's happening. So as you're going through and pull, there you go. Awesome. So there's your extra hand down there, right?
Yeah, it actually comes off super easy now.
Yeah, right, because we've taken the tension off the bead of the rim. Very good. Awesome. Congratulations. Voila. So now we're going to go ahead, make it a little bit easier. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take the whole tire off, the whole rim, and we just want to review sometimes. Going ahead, we'll go ahead and take off the tube. There you go. Okay. Now back in the day, you used to go ahead and patch it. Today, we don't do that.
We don't do that.
We just thank you very
Take
much.
the whole, yeah.
Pass it on.
You did your job. Too.
Exactly. Now, being that this is an older tire, we also want to go ahead and just make sure that we look. You want to make sure that there's nothing inside. So I'm just feeling through, making sure there's no punctures, make sure there's no old thorns that are sitting through the possibility. It's a little papery, so the possibility, what we'll do, not right now, but probably in the future, we'll go ahead and think about getting some new tires. Because they're sort of a little, like I said, it doesn't have that same bounce as they once did.
Right.
It was sitting flat for a while. You can see how the tire sits a little bit.
Right.
The walls are sort of collapsed a little bit.
Okay.
And so that's what we'll go ahead and think about in the future. But now that we've got this one, let's go ahead now. I have right here behind us. In our other videos, we sort of talked about making sure that when you are looking at your inner tubes that you get the right one. So on this box down here at the bottom, it goes ahead and tells you what size. So this is a 700 series rim, and it talks to you about the width of the tire. But what it talks about right below is the stem length. So what does that say right here?
80 millimeters.
80 millimeters. So that would go ahead and be right for like my big dish wheels.
Okay.
So that means I got this long stem.
Got
And
it.
you can see that stem is not that long.
No.
So then you come over to this other one here, and you can go ahead and see it says the same thing. So it's 700 series, 25 is a width. And then you come over to this one, it says how many?
60 millimeters.
60.
Okay.
It's still a little bit larger. This is
Yeah.
unfortunately all they had.
Okay.
At least you're not going to have a big old stem hanging off
Right.
of it. But this way, if you ever decide to go to a different rim, but that's all they had for today.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open this one up.
So we'll do it.
That one we just toss right off to the side there. And here you go. We'll go ahead and take that cap and that screw off. Okay, so
Right.
we'll put that right here for right now. And we're just gonna go ahead and stick this on. I like to always puff up the tire,
First.
the tube a little bit, give it a little bit of air.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go ahead. So I'll have you hold that. We'll give a little air in there. We'll put this flat on the floor. All right, so there's your tire.
Wow! How did that do it so quickly?
All right,
That's
Okay.
crazy.
so there we go. We just sort of empty that out a little bit.
Okay.
Good. So now we're gonna go ahead and put this back onto the rim. We check the tire. So we go ahead, sometimes as we go ahead and put the, you can go ahead, we have the tire, we have the inner tube. So we're gonna go ahead and put the tire back onto the rim,
Okay.
okay? So we're gonna go ahead, I'll take this for me for a second.
Okay.
And we're gonna just put it right in through the first part.
Got it. Okay.
All right, and just have to come right around the rim, putting it back on.
So you don't even put it on the entire way.
No, just put it one, because we gotta put the inner tube in, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So this is where we go. There you go. So we're gonna bring it off the tire right there. That's why you were. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay.
Do I just put it?
Yep.
Right.
Good.
Okay, got it.
And it's just gonna go ahead and be able to slide right on. See, now it's fairly
Okay.
easy,
Yeah.
but when we get the other side on, it's gonna have a little tension. That's why
Right.
we're gonna have our yellow levers to help us.
Got it.
So now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna find our opening. Where's your opening for?
Here.
Here, okay. So you're gonna go ahead and stick that through the opening. So you can push the tire off to the side,
So like this.
right through the opening there. Put your screw back, your nut back on. There you go. This way we'll go ahead and keep the stem in place. Oh, we don't have to put that one
Oh,
on.
not
Just
that.
the stem.
Gotcha.
Just the screw for here, so it's gonna
Got
help
it.
stabilize. Like I said, we're gonna stabilize the tube.
Right.
And now we get to go ahead and put the tube back in the tire. And what
Okay.
we wanna do is we're gonna go ahead and just have it off to the side.
Right.
And we just wanna go ahead and just feed it into the tire. We wanna make sure it's not twisted,
Okay.
okay?
Would you say it's easier to do it up on top?
You can go, yeah, because right, we wanna follow the stem around. And so if we have a little air inside the tire, it helps us from making sure that the tube doesn't get twisted. Now we gotta keep, so what happens is we go right around through here. Good. So you have to sort of watch out. So as we put the tire back, so you see how your tube is right here?
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
so we just wanna
interesting.
sort of, there you go. There again, sort of having that extra hand helps you to sort of
Yeah.
put it in place. So we're just sort of wiggling, pressing it back, getting it right down to the bottom. So we'll go ahead. Here's your tire, your loop, right?
Yeah.
We wanna make sure that it's good, so that way it's good. So we can see, there you go, fantastic. Okay, almost there. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, bring it, so as we go from your first stem here,
Mhm.
we're gonna go ahead and start right from here. You're gonna go ahead and just pull it back onto the rim,
Okay.
okay?
Like that.
Uh-huh.
On all of them.
Yeah. Gonna slide it down, gonna make sure it's in that area.
Mhm.
Good. And we just move it back around. Good. Fantastic. So she's just going ahead and moving the tire around, putting the bead of the tire back onto the rim, making sure that the inner tube is not getting pinched. And as she's coming around, she's starting to notice it's getting a little bit more difficult
Yes.
to go ahead and do that. So let's come to the other side of the tire, right on this side here.
Okay.
And it should be a little bit easier because we're gonna work our way back to center. Good. Fantastic. She's almost there. She's got a little bit of a gap, right?
This one's hard.
Very good. So now, guess what we have to use?
The arms.
The arms, right? There you go. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to come back in and we're going to see, we're going to place our lever in here. We're going to see if we can go ahead and get this back. I'm going to see if we can get a little bit more, but this is that little space, that little portion of what we want to try to do. So now, if we look at the opposite way, before we were doing where this went underneath the tire and then pulled it back. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip it around and we're going to make sure this goes onto the rim, and then we're going to lever the tire onto the rim. Okay?
Okay.
So there you go.
So would I just be going
Yep.
under here?
Yep. And then just lift up. Boom.
Wow,
There you go.
how easy is that?
And you're almost right there. You can probably go right in the center. And it's just going to go right on for you. Boom. And
Getting it caught on that.
there it
It's
is.
tricky though.
Because it's a little bit tighter now.
Yes.
Right? There
it
you
is.
go. And boom. It's there. Congratulations.
Woo!
You got your tire, you got your inner tube back in there, you got your screw nut hold there, holding the stem on, your valve stem on there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Congratulations. So then you just do one more check, making sure that the tire is completely around,
Yes.
sealed on.
Yes.
Good. Okay. I think we are ready to go ahead and pump up.
All
See how
right.
she does. Okay.
All right.
All righty. We'll be right back. We'll go ahead and get the tire pump. All right, guys, we're back. We're getting ready to go ahead and fill the tire up. So one last little check. Sometimes you might go ahead and be changing the tire and you can't seem, you saw today that we had just a little bit of gap that we had to bring the tire, but sometimes as we were coming back around, if the tire didn't get onto the rim properly, sometimes you might have to go ahead and say if this is the area down at the bottom that goes ahead and has a bigger gap, you might have to just wiggle the tire. Go ahead, make sure the top that you've already put on is onto the rim, which will then go ahead and give you a little bit more room to move the tire onto the rim. So right now we're in good position. We go ahead and we open up this little valve stem piece. We unscrew it tightly, and that allows us to go ahead and push the air into the tire. We went ahead and filled the canister full of air. We're going to go ahead and put this little hose. I'm going to place it right on. I'm going to push it on nice and firmly. There you go. And then we're going to pull that lever that secures it. And now you're just going to go ahead and lift that red lever up.
Wow.
Voila. So now, if you look, it says 80 pounds of pressure.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and give it to 90. Because you're light. Go ahead. We're just going to go ahead and pump. There you go. Good job. Oh. Think that you got to make you work a little bit today. There you go. Almost. A couple more pounds. Voila. Good job. All right. Congratulations. High five. Oh, social media. Professional tire changer. All right. We're going to go ahead and lift that lever, and then we're going to just push down. There we go. Okay. So we look around. We say, okay. Looking good. Congratulations. Now we get your cap. It's right on the, you got it?
Yep.
And then we're going to tighten up that little screw first.
Oh, okay.
Got to tighten that up. There you go. And then we go ahead and put that on.
Oh.
Voila.
On she goes.
So now you stay right there. I'm going to bring your bike back over,
Sure.
and we are going to put the wheel back on. All right, folks. So remember, we went ahead and we moved the chain all the way down to the easiest cog that allowed the wheel just to basically fall off. We opened up the rear caliper, and now we're going to go ahead and put everything back on. So we're going to go ahead and bring this back over, Marie, so everybody can see a little bit. So you're going to put your tire back on there for us. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bring this back on. Now what you want to do is we're going to go ahead and we want to make sure that the bottom portion of the chain, we want to get the smallest cassette, the smallest cog onto between the rim there, okay?
Okay.
The chain. So we're going to come right through here. We're just going to move that down just like that, okay?
Okay.
And what should take place is that we're going to get the top portion of that chain right onto your cassette.
Gotcha.
Now, come back up here. I'm going to change position so you can see how it goes. You got it?
Yep.
So all you're going to do is just push down. We're going to watch out. So there, you're going to push down right here. You're going to push down on, and it should go right in. Now, it just takes a little bit, but there you go. So
that's awesome.
it's letting the chain do the work for you.
Got it.
A lot of times we are just messing around,
Yeah.
and especially if we don't have the chain all the way at the bottom, it makes it much more difficult
Right.
to take off.
I know, like changing the front one,
Right.
like kind of have to like align it, figure it out.
Right, but
Okay.
here by going ahead and lining the chain up of where we started from,
Yeah.
and then just pushing down, making sure that the wheel passes through the calipers, it just snaps right back
Right.
in. Your quick release is all the way back in its set. So basically, all you have to do now is just go ahead and pull your quick release. Pull it back to tighten it up. Voila.
Perfect.
Now what we do is we go ahead and we lift up, make sure that it's passing through. So now what we're going to do is we're going to tighten up our brake caliper. So when we need our brakes, they work. Now we want to make sure that the wheel is going ahead and not rubbing the brakes. We lift up. Voila.
Perfect.
And stop. No rub. Perfect. Awesome. Congratulations.
Woo!
That was your first tire change.
That
You
was
did
my
pretty,
first charging.
you did pretty darn good.
I have to say the hardest part was getting it back on the wheel.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, getting the tube in, lining up everything, and then putting it back onto the tire itself. Or the rim itself, I mean.
Right. Well,
yeah.
as you're teaching us about social media, there's steps to everything, and once you know the steps, it makes life a little bit easier.
Definitely.
You do it a half dozen times. Hopefully, you don't get a half dozen more flats, but now you have the basic understanding of how things
Yes.
work, and so
Yes.
this way you won't like, I got a
freak
flat.
out.
What do I do?
Yeah,
Right.
right.
And then, as we talked about, we're going to get you a tool kit. So this way, your tool bag will be able to carry a tire with you. And so this way, you're out there, you're feeling confident. You change this way, you don't feel helpless or
Yes.
not in
Yes,
control.
definitely.
And when you're on the road by yourself and cars zooming by you, it's nice to have a little bit of knowledge to give you some comfort.
Yeah.
And so this way, it allows you to go ahead and know that you can handle the situation safely
Yeah.
and in control.
Got it.
Very cool.
So awesome. Thanks,
All right.
Dr. Vince.
Well, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and reach us at drvinceofinfinity@gmail.com. Thanks, everybody.